Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Elma and today I'm going to be taking through my GW13 team review together with my GW14 team selection. So before we start the video, I'd like to thank you all for the continued support on the channel and I really appreciate it. Also, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. We're aiming to get 400 subscribers before the end of the year. So make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and also leave a like. It only takes a few seconds, and yeah. So without wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So first, I'm going to start off with my Game 13 team review. How my Game 13 team performed. Managed to score 47 points, which was not really good as I used my wild card for this game week. So 47 points was not very ideal, but it was not bad. So I managed to drop rank from 3.2 million to 3.5 million, which was also not good considering I used my wild card, hoping for a little bit more from the team. Then taking my overall points 660, still haven't reached that 700 mark, which is also really disappointing. So we had Raya in goal who scored 2 points despite them being absolutely destroyed by Aston Villa 4-0. So I think 2 points was the best possible outcome from that. I think mainly just from the save points. Then Cancelo, Trippier, and Gomez all disappointing, coming out with no attacking returns, and Gomez there picking up a yellow card, hence the 1 point. There Ben White, although Arsenal conceded, he managed to get an assist for the Arsenal goal, so I'll take the 6 points from him. Then the midfield, as you can see, 1-2-1-2 from the across the midfield. So that's a really disappointing score from them, especially for the likes of Salah, who were playing a relatively easier fixture, and Foden, who was not started. So that's why he only scored 1 point. Then you had Haaland, the main man, who I think saved my game with 26 points, clean sheet, scoring 2 goals. So I think that was really good from him. Then Ivan Toney, just destroyed by Aston Villa. They did not have any sniff. And now, as you can see, my bench lost a lot of points in the on the bench this game week. 15 from Zuma, 10 from Pereira, and 8 from Ward. And then I have Edward with 2 points. So a really strong bench. Maybe I could have started Zuma over Gomez because Zuma had a easier fixture, but it is what it is. So 47 points. Hope for game week 14 we can be able to improve on that. So for game week 14, I'm not going to be making any transfers unless we find of an injury before the deadline on Saturday. So in goal, we have Raya against Wolves. Wolves do not look like they're going to score a lot of goals. They haven't been scoring a lot of goals. And with Brentford being at home, hope they can be able to bounce back from the disappointing display against Aston Villa for this week. And I hope that they'll be able to perform. Then you have Trippier against Aston Villa. Aston Villa maybe are going through the new manager bounce, but I think with the way Newcastle are playing, I think they're going to come out with the win, and I hope that Trippier will be able to influence that win in one way or another. Then you have Ben White playing against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest don't score a lot of goals, and I'm sure Arsenal will also be looking for a way to bounce back from the draw against Southampton. I know that Ben White can be able to produce an assist again this week and possibly keep a clean sheet as well. Then you have Cancelo against Leicester. He was substituted off against Dortmund in the Champions League, and Pep said that he had a little bit of a flu, that's why he was substituted off. So I hope that by the time they play Leicester, he's going to be okay for the fixture, and hope that he'll be able to perform as well. And then now we can move on to the midfielders. We're going to be having Martinelli, just as I mentioned about Ben White. Hope that can be able to bounce back from the Southampton defeat, as well as the Europa League defeat that they've just suffered against PSV. Hope they can be able to bounce back. Then we have Zaha as well against Southampton. Also them looking to bounce back from the disappointing display last weekend, and now they can be able to come out with a win. Then we have Salah, who scored again in the Champions League, but he's not bringing the Champions League form into the league. And I hope that against Leeds, when they play at home, that he can be able to perform for Liverpool and score a couple of goals. Then you have Foden against Leicester, who played against Dortmund. So I hope that he's not going to be opted for the Champions League fixtures and bench of the Premier League fixtures. So I hope that he's going to play against Leicester. Then you have Pereira there, who has been on fine form. I think I'm going to start him in Game Week 14 just because of lack of options in other places. They play Everton, which I think is a relatively easy fixture on paper, so that you can be able to perform in that match as well. And then we can move on to the forwards. I'm going to be having Haaland, who's going to be my captain against Leicester. Although we had some news from Pep saying about Haaland having 3 problems. There was a flu, a knock, and a fatigue that I was substituted off at halftime against Dortmund in the Champions League. So, but it's not a major concern. But I think Man City, they play the early fixture, so we hope that we can be able to get some early team news before the deadline. But for Man City, I heard it's very impossible to get that, but I hope that we can be able to get something so that we know whether to captain him or go for the likes of Salah or try and bring in someone like Harry Kane in there. And then we have Tony against Wolves. Wolves have not been good defensively, so I hope that Brentford can be able to exploit that, and hope that Tony can go back to scoring regularly in the league and performing well. Then we're going to go to the bench. We have Ward against Man City. There's no way they're going to keep a clean sheet in that match because, Man City are very ruthless in front of goal, especially with Haaland there, Foden, KDB, and all those people. Then you have Edward against Southampton, who's also in for a shout, maybe ahead of Pereira, but we'll know before the deadline what I'll do. But now I'm still thinking. So I can know in the comments whether you'll start Edward or Pereira. Then you have Zuma against United. I think United are going to score. Then you have Gomez against Leeds. I just think Leeds are maybe going to score a goal or a goal or two in that fixture. I think I'm happy with that team for Game Week 14. Let me know how your teams are shaping up for Game Week 14 and what your plans are for Game Week 14 as well. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. The link will be down in the description. And with that, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.